Joe, can this Cowboy crowd truly affect the visiting team? Doug Baldwin doesn't think so. He reminds us the Seahawks play at home at a loud place, so when they go on the road, they're not overwhelmed. But this is a young Seattle team. More than half of their players have never been at a playoff game. Their head coach, the oldest of the NFL, Pete Carroll, he's hip to the scene, joking that maybe the large scoreboard will block the sound for his team and saying that this place is different. It often feels like you're playing in a nightclub.
That actually might make Jerry Jones happy. Spanish language broadcast available tonight on Fox Deportes. And we get set to go. It'll be Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and the Cowboys offense to start the game. As Sebastian Janikowski will kick it away, and we are glad you're with us tonight on Fox. Touchback number 43 for Janikowski overall on the year. And here comes Dak Prescott. And we'll see how he gets along. He's coming off a career-high 4-touchdown game, and a game that didn't mean anything, except that it gave the Cowboys a little momentum, a little better feeling about their offense in their win Week 17 at the Giants.
Yeah, because I think when they came off their win against Tampa Week 16, they didn't feel real good about how they performed offensively. Ezekiel Elliott did not play last week. Dak Prescott went the full 4 quarters. Played very well. They feel like he comes into this game as well as this offense with great momentum.
Here is Elliott, and there's a nice start on the ground. So the Cowboys got rest for Zach Martin, got rest for Tyron Smith and Ezekiel Elliott, and got the win and momentum. That was a good day in the Meadowlands. And we look at this offensive line with the 2 Pro Bowlers. Both have been banged up this year, and as I said, both got the week off last Sunday.
Yes, they did. But Xavier Su'a-Filo, their left guard, he got the week off this week, and so they're going with the rookie Connor Williams, who started the first 8 games at left guard. He gets the start here tonight.
3 tight ends in there for Dallas. A little play action from Prescott, and the throw to the sideline is caught by Cooper for the first down. So they go with a big, heavy formation on 2nd and short, and Prescott rolls to his right and throws a strike to Amari Cooper.
Pretty good start. They get him outside the pocket, and he's able to deliver a good ball to Amari Cooper for 14 yards, and already his longest reception here in the last 4 weeks now. In each of the last 3 games, his longest reception had been just 11 yards. They've had a hard time incorporating him, but they get him going early.
Elliott cuts back, now picks his way, and as is typical with number 21, doesn't look like there's much there or he has any room, and he gets 5 yards. This defense, Troy, this was supposed to be a rebuild. You think about Seattle, they started 0-2. They introduced new defensive starters really throughout on each of the 3 levels of this defense, and they're playing great. Second down and 5. Prescott, Beasley, first down inside the 35. And with less than a handful of plays, as Beasley can't get up.
Well, Joe, I talked to him before the game, and he's been battling through a right ankle injury, and he was talking about how it's been giving him some problems and didn't anticipate this, but that might be what this is.
Another 14-yard completion, but Beasley's hurt. Aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. It's been 4 plays on offense for the Dallas Cowboys. They're averaging over 10 yards a play, 41 yards of offense, and they're working on the ankle and lower leg of Cole Beasley on the sideline. First down, Dallas. A screen. Elliott cuts back, gets 9. Bobby Wagner, the all-world linebacker for Seattle, over there to make the stop. An all-pro again in 2018. He's as good as there is, but he couldn't get to Elliott before Ezekiel got 9 yards.
I think that's a good start for Dak Prescott in this offense, and offensive coordinator Scott Linehan, and the way he is mixing things up. They start the game, they go run and then pass, run, pass. They come back there with the screen. It's well done right now that they're mixing it up and giving a lot of different looks.
2nd down and 1. Elliott has the 1st down.
And in the process, Joe, Seattle has not yet gotten Dallas to 3rd down. They've been very productive on 1st, and they've picked up 1st downs on 2nd down, and they continue to move the chains. This is a Seahawks defense that is outstanding on 3rd down. They're 5th in the NFL, giving up just 35%. So far, they've had a hard time getting Dallas in this opening possession to a 3rd down.
Already covered 52 yards over 6 plays. They fake the toss. Prescott, his receiver, fell down, and Noah Brown, by the time he got up, Prescott was still looking in his direction. Brown couldn't adjust and make the catch. Cowboys season in review. It looked like it was over at 3-5 in a road date at Philadelphia, but they won 7 of their last 8. And their running back in his 3rd year wins his 2nd rushing title, Ezekiel Elliott, who had a 1,400-yard year.
Hard to believe that the Dallas Cowboys would not really fully embrace what their identity is, but once they went back to Ezekiel Elliott after that loss to Tennessee, they got back to playing Dallas Cowboys football and started rolling.
Here's a good play by Shamar Stephen as he brings down Elliott for no gain, and so here is not just a 3rd down, but a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10, and Cole Beasley ready to check back in.
Well, and this is not what you would deem the red zone because they're outside the 20-yard line, but this has been the Achilles heel for the Cowboys throughout this season, and then the last 2 times these 2 teams have met. They've had a hard time when they've gotten down to this end of the field being able to cash in. It's a big down right now for the Seattle D.
Blitz off the edge, throw to Cooper looking for blocks. Nothing out there, and well played by Seattle. Tyron Smith could not find a body to get in front of. A gain of 2. It'll bring up 4th down and bring on the field goal team for Dallas.
Well, Seattle does an excellent job in that when you get the ball out quick, you got to go attack these ball carriers. You had a blocker out, but Seattle's able to defeat that and then make the play and force this Brett Maher field goal attempt, which has been anything but automatic.
39-yard try. Tedrick Thompson made that last play defensively for Seattle at a good time. Dallas has the lead. So some big chunks of yards for Dallas. This is the 2nd time these 2 teams have met in the postseason. First time that 2006 wild card game, down by 1 with a minute 19 remaining. The mishandled snap on the field goal try. Bill Parcells would retire after that game. Tony Romo is now a TV guy, so he gets it. He knew it was coming.
You know, that was a crazy finish, as we know, for those of us that saw it. And really the last 2 times these teams have met, you know, there's been some crazy plays in those and some tight games. Not a whole lot of scoring overall when these 2 teams meet.
Seattle won that game, by the way, lost the next week to Chicago in overtime. Chicago beat the Saints and then went on to the Super Bowl and lost to the Colts in Super Bowl 41. Here is Russell Wilson, who has just done nothing in the NFL except win. In the regular season, in the postseason, he won a Super Bowl in his 2nd year in the NFL, 3rd-round pick out of Wisconsin, and arguably had his best year in 2018.
Yeah, and I asked Pete Carroll that question since he's been here for all of them, and he said he had a really great year. I can't say that it was better than all the others that he's had, and I think that was a great response, because when I watch Russell this year, I see the same guy doing the same things that he's been doing ever since he got here in 2012.
Handoff is to Carson, who was the NFC Offensive Player of the Month for December. He comes rolling into this game off 3 straight 100-yard rushing days. It's the top running team in the league, really, any way you look at it. They get their guards back for this game, including J.R. Sweezy, who was more iffy than DJ Fluker. The backs and receivers will see a lot of Chris Carson, who rushed for 102. when these two teams met in week 3. 2nd and 6. Carson again bottled up, still fighting, and he turns it into 3rd down and 2 with that effort, a gain of 4. And now the defense, Troy, and number 7 overall, and they can get after the passer, and they have terrific young linebackers.
They really do. Both these teams have outstanding linebackers that can really run. The rookie Leighton Vander Esch has been outstanding. 2nd-year player Jalen Smith, fully healthy. He's only gotten better as this season has moved along. Hard to get the ball on the edges against this defense. Let's see what Seattle's able to do here on their first 3rd down.
3rd down and 2. Wilson running in circles. Collins chasing him. And batted down. It'll be a 3-and-out to start as Jalen Smith got his hand in there.
Well, you look at this Seattle offense, Joe, coming into this game. They had the 3rd most 3-and-outs of anybody in football, and the last time they played the Cowboys, week 3, they had 12 offensive possessions if you don't count the kneel down at the very end of the game. 6 of those were 3-and-outs. So here they open up this ball game on their first offensive possession, another 3-and-out.
The all-pro rookie Michael Dixon to punt. He can boom it. This is a knuckleball, and Tavon Austin on a bounce. Gets brought down immediately. 44-yard punt. Nothing on the return. Cowboys have it, up 3. It is wild card weekend around the National Football League. The Cowboys lead here at home 3-0. Their defense doing what it does in the opening quarter. They've allowed only 24 first quarter points all year. By far the fewest in the NFL. And they forced a 3-and-out. We'll show you the replay as Jalen Smith made that effort. The spy on Russell Wilson. This drive starts at the 23. Handoff to Elliott running right. Turns the corner and avoids benches and players and everybody else. Gains 3. Let's go back to that play by Smith.
Well, you see Jalen Smith in the middle and how he's going to shadow Russell Wilson. Everywhere he goes, he's going to follow him, and then ultimately he's the guy who knocks this pass down as he's trying to throw it up that right sideline. It's just it's an excellent job, and expect to see whether it's Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, or some other form of it. They want to be able to rush Russell Wilson, but at the same time, they don't want to restrict these pass rushers. Have somebody in as a spy to handle him when he scrambles.
2nd down and 7. Prescott to his right, throws a hand off the hands of 2 Cowboys. First Noah Brown, then Dalton Schultz, and the incompletion to bring up 3rd down and 7. The night before Super Bowl 53, the NFL's brightest stars will come together to salute the best players, plays, and moments from the 2018 season. Tune in to NFL Honors on February 2nd at 9 Eastern on CBS. 3rd and 7. Prescott, Hearns for the first down. Allen Hearns made the grab, and now Hearns is hurt. Hearns, who has been seldom used since the arrival of Amari Cooper, in some pain. He got a first down, but at what price? Oh, good Lord. Back after this. See head coach Jason Garrett out there holding the left hand of Allen Hearns. That was just a gruesome injury. We won't show it again, but it was left ankle and just ugly. He made the catch. He got the first down, but now everybody is just standing around hoping that somehow he's able to come back from it at some point. And it did not look good. Take another break. Well, they are just now able to get Allen Hearns onto that backboard and then onto the stretcher. He will go, and then straight into the locker room, if not the hospital. There's the right hand of Jason Garrett, the left hand of Alan Hearns, who just made his 8th catch over his last 10 games for a first down here a moment ago, but then had a gruesome left lower leg injury, and they put that inflatable boot over the left ankle and foot. And so we are still waiting here in Arlington, and now this sellout crowd of either just below or just above 100,000. Applauding Alan Hearns, and players from both sides coming up to him and wishing him luck.
Well, you look at this offense for the Cowboys now with Cole Beasley banged up and then losing Alan Hearns. They suited up 6 wide receivers coming into this game. Tavon Austin, who had missed 9 games, came back in week 17 and got a little bit of action, so he is active tonight. So they still have Cole Beasley on the field, but he is noticeably limping around, and there's Alan Hearns in a great deal of pain.
First year with the Dallas Cowboys. Former Jacksonville Jaguar. Had a couple of really good years in Jacksonville. Injuries have slowed him the past couple of seasons. There's Beasley, who's been back out there, but with a noticeable limp with that right ankle issue that was exacerbated on a tackle on the first possession. And as you said, they get Tavon Austin back. They have Gallup, the rookie, Noah Brown, Cooper. Hearns is being carted off and saluted by these fans. A 14-yard catch on 3rd down and 7 for Hearns. And Dak Prescott has started this game 5 for 7 for 53 yards, and back to the ball game we go with the ball at the Dallas 40.
Keep it tight.
Good protection. Elliott tried to go around Wagner, and then the tackle made by Poona Ford, who's coming off a 6-tackle game in what was a more difficult effort than you would have thought going in a home win over Arizona. A gain of 4 on that play, 2nd and 6.
Well, Poona Ford is Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year at the University of Texas, and really he has shown Seattle a lot. Like you said, he's shown up here towards the end of the season. The only reason he was undrafted was because of his height. He's only 5'11", but he shows up when you watch this defense.
Here's Elliott, and there's KJ Wright. Wright has battled a knee injury on and off all year. He played only 5 games. He's been a Pro Bowler. He's an alternate this year, but 5 games played. And so they've had him now 3 games in a row, and he really mans a key spot at that weak side linebacker for Ken Norton Jr.'s defense.
No doubt, and they were thrilled to get him back, and back at 100%. More importantly, as they go into this postseason, Bobby Wagner really the face of this defense now, with so many players having left this last year. But KJ Wright, another one who was one of the mainstays for this group.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 2. The pass for Gallup is incomplete. And looking for a big chunk of yardage on 3rd and 2. Prescott fired it out of bounds. It's 4th down.
They've tried this connection a lot. all season long. A lot of contact here at the end of this, but the ball, I think they deemed it just really probably uncatchable. There was not much of a chance at all on the throw, but they take a lot of shots, more deep shots probably to Michael Gallup than anybody else, but they just don't hit many of them. In fact, when they throw to Gallup, they're only completing 48% of the passes, which isn't very good. But like I said, more times than not, those are because those are throws 30, 40, 50 yards downfield.
Jones hits a knuckler. Lockett backs up inside the 15 and dives down near the 24. And we'll be right back after this from Progressive. That punt nets just 29 yards of field position, so at the 23 the Seahawks begin down by 3. Setting up a screen. Carson gets blown up. Antoine Woods. A loss of 8.
Boy, Antoine Woods, he just reads this perfectly. He's right in the middle, and you see once he feels these offensive linemen kind of let him go, he goes and attacks the back. Carson, and just no chance whatsoever. This guy has had a heck of a season. He goes into camp there in Oxnard, California, as the 4th string defensive tackle, and by the time they arrived back in Dallas to start this season, he was the starter.
2nd and 18, Carson. There's Woods again. Drags down Chris Carson, who had a big year at over 1,100 yards. 5th best total in the NFL, but that screen that was shut down by Woods has, in essence, brought about 3rd and long, 3rd and 13.
Yeah, these negative plays, because these two defenses, they're so dominant, especially Seattle on 3rd downs. The Cowboys, the pressure they can get to you on 3rd down. When you get into long down situations, you're going to have a hard time. The negative plays really impact these possessions. Wilson
diving around and ends up with a positive play, a gain of 3. DeMarcus Lawrence made the stop. First guy there was Randy Gregory, and Chris Richard, who for 3 years was the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks and who will interview for a number of head coaching opportunities in the upcoming week, is pleased with the way his defense has started this ball game.
Yeah, and the way they've played all year long. That's just an outstanding job in coverage. There's nowhere for Russell Wilson to go. Now, he does a good job of getting what he could, trying to help this punt and field position.
Good punt by Dixon. Austin surveys and now looks for some room. Can't make it to the 30. It's a 57-yard punt, an 8-yard return after the Seahawks have their 2nd straight 3-and-out. This February, buckle up for the biggest race of the year, the Daytona 500 on Fox. The Great American Race kicks off the 2019 NASCAR season this February, only on Fox.
Well, look at this game, Joe, and the Cowboys, and really Seattle has started this game much like they started the other games, and it's been a struggle. And then their formula for beating Dallas has been simply just stay the course, take away the ball on defense, and then take advantage of it on the offensive side.
Prescott to the sideline, and incomplete for Amari Cooper.
But this has been an offense now. Last week against the Giants, they had 5 pass plays of 20 yards or more, which is the most they'd had all season. Big pass plays have been hard to come by for this Cowboys offense. And it looks like we may have somebody down on the far sideline.
Watch Jaron Reed, number 90, who's had a huge year, come through and really make that defensive play, but then out there on the edge where the pass was incomplete, Trey Flowers, who Pete Carroll predicts greatness for, is slow to get up.
They're checking his ankle, and here's a guy who went to Oklahoma State. He played safety. Most teams were looking at him at safety because that's what he played, and he fit the mold for Seattle. They brought him in and they moved him to corner, and they feel that between he and Shaq Griffin, they have their two corners for the next several years. That's a good sign for Seattle.
And we'll be right back after this from State Farm. Well, now they look at Trey Flowers on the sideline. Shaq Griffin was iffy during the week after injuring his ankle against Arizona in Week 17. Akeem King comes in to take over for Flowers. 2nd and 10. They run it with Elliott. Wagner is there for Seattle, and a flag is down.
Well, that flag came in late, too.
During the run, holding number 89, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 2nd down.
So Seattle accepts the penalty. It's against Blake Jarwin, and we are pleased most weeks with the presence of Mike Pereira in our broadcast booth. We just heard from Walt Anderson, and this is the time of year, Mike, where these referees and these crews are a bit put together kind of on the fly, so to speak.
Yeah, and it is. But the good thing that they did, they've got Walt Anderson and his umpire Carl Paganelli together, so it gives them consistency in that very important duo there.
The hold on Jarwin brings up 2nd and 20. Prescott to the sideline. Cooper with a catch. And 3rd down and long coming up after a gain of 9.
Well, it's one of those games, Joe, that because you do expect it to be a somewhat low-scoring game, it becomes a game of field position. And so those, as I was talking about with Seattle, when they have the screen pass that gets played by Antoine Woods, the Cowboys come back and then they have the holding penalty against Blake Jarwin, and it backs you up. Makes it awfully difficult here.
Prescott, long throw and broken up. Dangerous throw as Shaq Griffin stepped in front of Michael Gallup.
Dangerous.
And it was Griffin who had visions of taking this thing to the house.
Yeah, if Dak Prescott throws this where Gallup can make a play on it, then it's a pick six. It's going the other way. You can tell that Shaq Griffin, he had a chance anyway, probably should have caught that ball. He knows he missed out on an opportunity. And that's been the downfall. So far, no turnovers in this game, but that's been the downfall for the Cowboys. They've turned it over 3 times in each of the previous 2 meetings against the Seahawks.
And that hit Kayvon Frazier further up the field, and they're going to put the ball at the 27. Coming into the year, here are some of the preseason headlines from different media outlets, whether the New York Times, USA Today, Sports Illustrated. Can Russell Wilson and a rebuilt defense get back to the playoffs? And the answer is yes. Russell Wilson has only missed the playoffs 1 time, and that was last year. By the way, another winning season at 9-7.
And a rebuilt coaching staff as well. We talked about Chris Richard, the defensive coordinator, leaving, but on the offensive side of the ball, they replaced Darrell Bevel, who had been the offensive coordinator for 7 years. They bring in Brian Schottenheimer. There's a look at him. In the first couple of weeks, they were a little heavy throwing the ball. Some of that was because they were playing from a deficit. The other part was simply because they had abandoned the run, but they're not abandoning it anymore.
Here's Carson on 1st down. He's able to get it just across the 30, where Leighton Vander Esch, who set a Cowboys rookie record with his 138 tackles this year, brings him down.
To follow up on Brian Schottenheimer, I think Pete Carroll made a really good point that, he's been outstanding as the play caller, and it's not an easy position to come into when you have your ideas and things you want to do. And yet Seattle under Pete Carroll, they have one philosophy, and that is we are going to run the football, and he's been good at calling those plays for him.
Here's Carson, got maybe a yard with that last lunge, and the first guy there was DeMarcus Lawrence. So 3rd down, 3rd and 6 upcoming.
3rd and 6, and we'll see if Seattle's able to get their first down.
Wilson sacked. That's Collins. He had 3 during the regular season. Malik Collins got through, and still no first down for Seattle.
Well, here it comes. DJ Fluker's the right guard, and I don't know if he expected help from Justin Britt, but instead he takes Jalen Smith, who was blitzing. And there's a face mask that the Cowboys get away with, but just not good up front. You turn the furthest guy away from the quarterback free. That would have been Jalen Smith. It buys Russell Wilson a little more time. Instead, Malik Collins has a direct shot.
Another good punt by Dixon. Austin back at the 21. Flag. Austin takes off. This is likely coming back as Austin will go down the sideline and get into the end zone. But a flag is down back near the 24. It happened near the Cowboys sideline. And Garrett can't believe the call. Here's the official word from Walt Anderson.
During the return, holding number 35 of the receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Will be a first down, and this is the end of the first quarter.
So the end of the first quarter has this crowd upset. It erases the hold on Kayvon Frazier, or by Kayvon erases an 80-yard return. Cowboys will have it when we come back after this from your local Fox station. The announcement was made. They called it on Kayvon Frazier. We believe they just called the wrong number. C.J. Goodwin guilty of the hold. We'll show it to you in a moment. This drive starts at the 14 for Dallas. Trey Flowers back out there at the bottom of the screen at corner for Seattle. Injured the last time Dallas had the ball, and Cowboys go back to the ground game. Elliott carries it for 3, and Mike Pereira take us through this important and big holding call on Goodwin.
Yeah, huge call on C.J. Goodwin, but the right call. But what happens is you throw the flag, and then they tell you you got to keep officiating the return. And sometimes when you do that, you lose track of the number. They just announced the wrong number, but it was the right call.
2nd and 7 as we begin the second quarter.
Here we go, Java. Java, you got guns. Hey, 5 on the 50. Oh, my 50.
Pass is caught. That's Austin, who was traded to Dallas by the Rams coming into the year. Chris Myers, what do you have down there?
Well, just updating what you said on Trey Flowers. He's playing, Joe, on a tender left ankle. They had to re-wrap it. He went over to Pete Carroll and said, I'm good to go back in. Nico Thorpe, a backup corner, doubtful with a shoulder injury. He's wearing an ice pack on the sideline. Remember, Seattle's already without safety Delano Hill, who was injured last week.
Well, he's in the slot right now on Amari Cooper, and you'd think that Cowboys would go after him.
Here's Elliott on first down, leaping to the 30. How about Dallas's injuries here in the first half? Here's Aaron.
The official word on wide receiver Allen Hurns' ankle injury out. Of course, Cole Beasley still banged up with that right ankle injury. He's trying to gut through it. And also strong safety Jeff Heath. He had to wrap up his wrist. He's played since doing that as well, Joe.
Well, for Dallas, at least at the safety spot, they dressed 3 safeties, so they're a bit thin back there. 5 corners. 2nd down and 5 here for Dallas at their own 30. Prescott to the sideline. Beasley, first down. Shoved out of bounds by Shaq Griffin.
They motion Noah Brown down, and he's a wide receiver that doesn't get a lot of opportunities in the passing game. He's primarily a blocker, so they're heavy run when he's in the game. They come back and they're going to throw it. They're actually going to try to get the ball to Noah Brown here to the bottom, and they covered up pretty well. Seattle does. Prescott able to then flush to his right, and Cole Beasley, even with a bad ankle, gives him some separation.
Austin gets it. And Austin is wrapped up by KJ Wright. Good play by number 50 at a loss of 3.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work very well for Tavon Austin and this Cowboys offense. You know, there's sirens that go off when he's in the game and goes in motion on that jet sweep action. And, you know, they saw it the last time these two teams met, that they tried to get him the ball that way also. I do think he's a good route runner, and he's missed a lot of time, as we talked about, but I also think Noah Brown is, who I talked about, is primarily used as a blocker in the run game. So they've got some guys, even now without Allen Hurns, that are capable of beating one-on-one coverage.
Here's Elliott. Good play by Jaron Reed.
Well, you don't see that very often with Ezekiel Elliott going backwards. It's almost always him finishing up forward. That's a heck of a play by Jaron Reed. This guy's right in the middle of your screen, and he's able to just corral Ezekiel right there. Big year he had. He's been a great run guy throughout his career, but this year all of a sudden he emerged as a pass rusher, as an inside force.
Hey, here we go, let's go. Yeti. Oh, what's that? Here we go, let's go, jumper.
And they're going to call this against Dallas.
False start, number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Lyle Collins was guilty of flinching.
It's just a little, you know, and had Joe Looney have snapped the ball when Seattle got into the neutral zone, then the Cowboys pick up 5 yards. It's not snapped, but there was enough movement going on along that offensive front that got Lyle Collins just on his heels, and that's what they picked up.
So now 3rd and 17. Have to get it up to their own 48 for a first down. Underneath, it's Elliott to the 40, 8 yards shy of the first down, a gain of 9. Good start for each side defensively. And the punter, Chris Jones, is back to work.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott on that play, after he catches the ball, he does a good job of securing it. He has put the ball on the ground. Hasn't lost them all, but he's fumbled 6 times this year. And he fumbled against Seattle earlier in the season, and Seattle does an outstanding job of creating takeaways, going after the football. That was a good job by Elliott being mindful of that.
Jones hits a beauty. Lockett back near the 10. Tripped up. Joe Thomas saved what could have been a big return by Lockett. It's 12 yards as it is here after a 50-yard punt. Tackled by Thomas. Seahawks down 3. Well, as we come back into this gigantic stadium in Arlington, Texas. Joe and Troy with you. Aaron and Chris down on the sideline. So far, not much for Seattle offensively.
No, they got 5 yards. You know, here in this ball game, they've gone 3 consecutive 3-and-outs to start this game. I think this defense is saying, hey, offense, let's get something going now.
Wilson floats it. Pass is caught by Dixon, the tight end. And there's their first down, and a big play on top of it as Dixon gets 27.
Such great touch by Russell Wilson, and they show this read option look, and he comes off of it and then just feathers it right there to Dixon. That's a nice job. It's a good concept there by Brian Schottenheimer. Of course, Dixon, he missed some time as well, and they had Will Dissly. He goes down early in the season, and they've had to kind of do it by committee ever since then.
Wilson, protection is there. Here's Lockett with a catch inside the 20. And in 2 big plays here, a ton of yards. 26 to Dixon, and now 40 to Tyler Lockett.
Well, Tyler Lockett, this is their speed guy. This is their deep threat, and he gets off the ball, off the play action, and immediately he's one-on-one on the safety. And you see how that's a mismatch. There's just no way with a 2-way go on Xavier Woods. It's just no way for him to keep up with him. Just two outstanding plays and throws by Russell Wilson.
Handoff here, takes it down inside the 10. Chris Carson brought down by Jalen Smith, a gain of 4.
And Joe, this is where this game's going to be won and lost. When you look at the prior games between these two, the Seahawks had dominated offensively in the red zone. They have come away with touchdowns. The Cowboys, on the other hand, have not. And this Cowboys defense, is as good as they've been in this game, they've given up a lot of yardage on those first two pass plays. Can they make a stop down here?
Second down and 6. Carson again. Nothing. Malik Collins, who has a sack in this game, brought Carson down with a loss of 1. So now third down. Brian Schottenheimer trying to come up with the right play against the number 27 third down defense in the league. But the number 7 red zone defense during the regular season for Rod Marinelli. Third down and 6, just got it away. Pass incomplete for Dixon. And the Cowboy defense does make a stop in the red zone as the field goal unit comes on for Seattle.
Well, they dial up the blitz. We've seen that now a few times in this game. They go Leighton Vander Esch. Russell Wilson, he saw it. He recognized it. Leighton Vander Esch tipped his hand before the snap of this ball. And so you saw Russell Wilson check out of it. He anticipated the blitz. But even with a better throw and a catch, Dixon does not pick up the first down there. Or the touchdown.
Janikowski knocks it through from 27. And this wild card playoff game is tied at 3. 7 left in the half. Some of the great Cowboy quarterbacks in their illustrious history: Meredith, Staubach, Aikman. And before the game, a little meeting around midfield with the great Danny White.
Yeah, the great Danny White, Wiz was his nickname. Took the team to 3 consecutive NFC championship games. He does the national broadcast on radio for the Cowboy games.
And Janikowski knocks it into the end zone. So out to the 25 it goes. Millions of fans made The Masked Singer America's #1 news show, and the Steelers' Antonio Brown was the first to be unmasked. From Emmy winners to Hall of Famers, you won't believe who is unmasked next. The Masked Singer, Wednesday, right here on Fox. 3-3 games, 7 minutes, 3 seconds left in the first half.
Right, here we go, Joe, I got it. Diamond. There we go, 5-0 right there, 5-0, 5-0.
So far, Elliott, 9 carries, 32 yards. Prescott throws, and the pass is dropped. That's Gallup, but a flag is thrown right where that incompletion happened with Shaq Griffin in coverage.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, number 26, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That is the first Seahawk penalty of the game.
On this other side, however, they had Trey Flowers working against Amari Cooper, and that's initially where Prescott was looking to throw the ball, and Cooper was able to get separation. I just thought when they lined up, that's definitely where he's going. Trey Flowers, as we already know, he's banged up, he's hobbled. You get him over, they don't match up, so you can get Cooper on Trey Flowers anytime you want.
Here's Elliott on first down, and there's a play made by KJ Wright. He's been all over the place, a gain of 1.
And what I mean by that, Joe, is Seattle, even when they had Richard Sherman, they do not put a corner on the opposing team's best offensive weapon. They just play their left and right corner positions, and so Trey Flowers is going to play his right corner spot. Shaq Griffin's going to play his left corner spot. You can put anybody you want on Trey Flowers, the rookie, who's hobbled, as is Shaq Griffin, who missed, 2/3 of that game last week with the ankle.
It's Cooper and Griffin at the top. That's where Prescott goes, and Amari Cooper, who made a huge difference in the win column and statistically for this Dallas offense, gets 15 and a first down.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks have been tough for Amari Cooper, and no fault of his. They just have not been able to complete passes in his direction when he's had separation. He's a hard guy to get to the ground, and I've said it just about every time we've had a Cowboys game. I really have not seen anybody one-on-one cover him yet. He's so good in and out of breaks, and giving Dak Prescott a target and a good place to go with the football.
Elliott, right side. Looked like he got enough for a first down before he was knocked out of bounds, and he did, to the Seattle 40, a gain of 13 as McDougal make the stop.
McDougal, he put a pretty good hit on him at the end of this play. You see Ezekiel Elliott go flying. There's some of that helmet-to-helmet stuff we talked about. It was more side helmet as opposed to the crown of the helmet.
Longest carry of the day. They go right back to him, and that play was made by Frank Clark. No gain on the play. The Seahawks are the only team in the league that had 2 different players on their defense with 10 or more sacks. Clark with a career-high 14, and Jarran Reed 10.5. Clark proves that he can play the run as well on that play.
Well, and Frank Clark, when you look at his year, 27 of his, or over half of his quarterback hits on the year came in the last 5 ball games.
Here's Prescott. Play is made by Clark. And he comes up with a huge play back to midfield, a loss of 10.
It's Kenny Norton, the defensive coordinator. They run a game. You're going to see Frank Clark. They run a twist, and the Cowboys don't handle that very well. They got the rookie Connor Williams is working alongside Tyron Smith. They do not play that off. Typically, you would let the left tackle Tyron Smith take his man, and then Connor Williams has to pick up Frank Clark. They don't do that, and Clark has a free shot.
Prescott was sacked 5 times in week 3 at Seattle. That's the first time he's been sacked in this one. Underneath, it's Elliott trying to get some yards and maybe have a crack at a field goal try. Went around KJ Wright, who's got 6 tackles in this half, and he gets 10. And the field goal unit comes on for Dallas.
You're going to see the move there. Now, normally he would hang here, and then they would just pass it off. Instead, they don't. They don't see and feel, and that's just part of Connor Williams and Tyron Smith not having worked together much. Connor Williams has played 2 of the last 3 weeks, but it's been at right guard. He hasn't been at left guard since the 8th game of the season.
58-yard try by Brett Maher. He is wide to the right. Had made 3 during the regular season of 55 or more. Pushes this wide right. And great starting field position for Pete Carroll's Seahawks when we come back. It's a wild card matchup between the Seahawks and the Cowboys as Brett Maher misses from 58. That would have tied an NFL postseason record. Graham Gano and Pete Stoyanovich have hit from 58 in postseason games past. Here's Russell Wilson out to his left, in trouble. Gregory in pursuit, and the pass is to Doug Baldwin, incomplete as that bounced in. Chris Myers, give us more on Russell Wilson.
Well, relentlessly positive, Joe, but more subdued for his personality. That was before that last series. He hasn't shown frustration with his sluggish offense, but the sideline chatter indicating to his offensive linemen that our patience is paying off, and we can be more aggressive on first down, as we just saw, or at least try to be.
That was the first time Wilson has targeted Doug Baldwin in this game. 2nd and 10. And this field goal, the great field position. Wilson just gets rid of it, and Lockett with a catch. What a grab by Tyler Lockett.
This guy has been unbelievable all season long. Mr. Reliable, really. And both he and Baldwin, these guys are great competitors. Tyler Lockett, as a speed guy, much better at making those contested catches than people realize. That's an outstanding job.
25-yard grab. Here is Carson, and he loses yardage. DeMarcus Lawrence was in there, a loss of 4, but back to that as Wilson just heaved it with Lawrence in his face.
Yeah, he's got DeMarcus Lawrence who's right there, and he just lays it up. He just trusts that his guy's going to go up and make a play. And Wouzier, he just loses sight of the ball. He doesn't make a play at all on it. That's good work. And, hey, that 58-yard field goal attempt by Jason Garrett and Maher, that wasn't without risk. You missed that like they did. You set up Seattle with great field position on the 48-yard line. One big play, and they're knocking on the door.
And we are at the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 14 when we come back. The great Charles Haley sitting next to Commissioner Roger Goodell. We have been watching them throughout the entire break. And he's got Goodell cracked up. I mean, Charles Haley is one of the most interesting guys that you could ever sit next to anywhere.
One of the greatest teammates I ever had the pleasure of playing with, and I can guarantee you the commissioner will be entertained throughout this game.
2nd down and 14. And a timeout is called by Seattle. By the way, in this game, Russell Wilson has only 4 completions, but 3 have been 25 or more yards. That last one to Lockett set this opportunity up. Coming up, Visa halftime. Here's Kurt.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, the Colts beat the Texans earlier and set up a showdown with the Chiefs next week. Our Christina Peak will talk with T.Y. Hilton about that big win. Plus, we'll break down the first half of the game you're having fun at there in Big D. It's all coming up on the Visa halftime. Joe?
Kurt, thank you. So that means the winner of the Chargers and the Ravens, that game in Baltimore, will be at Foxborough to take on the Patriots next week. Now the 2nd and 14 play. Seahawks down to 2 timeouts. Wilson, Carson, Jalen Smith to the 24. 3rd down coming up, a gain of 7.
It's a good defense right there by Dallas, and especially Jalen Smith being able to come up and make a tackle. Both these defenses are really good in the open field of being able to minimize the yards after contact. Sets up another 3rd down for Seattle.
Dallas just used their first timeout. Trying to conserve as much time as they can so they get a crack at it again before the half. Remember, Seattle will receive the kickoff to start the 2nd half. Seahawks are 0 for 4 on 3rd down.
Well, we've seen Chris Richard. He's called blitzes here in these situations here in this first half. Will he again here?
Both Smith and Vander Esch up on the line. Both coming after Wilson, and this is Baldwin. The pass incomplete with Wouzier in coverage. That brings up 4th down.
Well, he had a chance too. The Cowboys did bring pressure, so they're one-on-one, and they go after Wouzier again. And really a well-thrown ball by Russell Wilson. Gets away with obviously a bit of a push-off, and that's one that Doug Baldwin doesn't miss that catch very often.
Baldwin, who has touchdown catches in 6 of his last 8 postseason games. Janikowski has put Seattle on top as he hits from 42. And 2 for 2 here in this playoff game at the end of his first year in Seattle. Well, the 2019 Pro Bowl presented by Verizon is headed back to Orlando for a week filled with entertainment and a celebration of football at all levels. Watch your favorite NFL stars compete. Back to AFC versus NFC at the 2019 Pro Bowl presented by Verizon, Sunday, January 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ABC. And don't miss the Pro Bowl Skills Showdown on Thursday, January 24th at 9 Eastern. That's on ESPN.
Well, it's interesting. The Cowboys now with 1 minute and 43 seconds. They have 2 timeouts, still a lot of time. And if you're one who puts much meaning into stats and numbers, Seattle is 7-0 this year when they are leading at halftime.
Remember that short field and the opportunity set up by the 48-yard positioning of the football after the 58-yard field goal miss by Maher. And out to the 25 it will come. For the Cowboys, their postseason history, 1990 through 2000, a 12-5 record, 3 Super Bowl wins since. They have only 2 wins in 8 tries, and not even a trip to the championship game.
We've had some good teams along the way too. Twice during that stretch they were the #1 seed in the NFC. They lost to the New York Giants and Eli Manning when they went on to win the Super Bowl, and then 2 years ago they lost to the Green Bay Packers.
Prescott with protection. Jarwin coming off that huge game in Week 17 at the Giants makes a grab and a gain of 4.
Well, he really has emerged as a guy that Dak Prescott can rely on. Jeff Swaim was kind of that guy. Shoot, Jarwin only had 2 receptions in games that Swaim played in. So his work has come with Swaim on IR, and like you said, had a huge game last Sunday against the Giants.
Cowboys' longest play of the half is 15 yards. This one is caught, but short of a first down by Cooper, as he's covered well by Shaq Griffin. 3rd and 1 coming up.
And Cooper's slow to get up.
Man, he goes right to the sideline. Clock running, 1:13 left. Elliott bouncing. Ezekiel Elliott down inside the 25 and hops out of bounds with 1:03 left. Biggest play of the half by Dallas, good for 41.
Well, you see these guys here and just nobody then contains. And the outside guy, Akeem King, number 36, it looked like it was his responsibility to come up and fill that outside gap, and he wasn't there. And Ezekiel Elliott with his speed, you know, once he got a step, you're not gonna get him for a while.
Amari Cooper back in there with a first down at the Seattle 22. Here's Jarwin. And a nice play on first down. Under a minute to go. Clock continues to run. McDougal on the stop. Gain of 7.
Thought the Cowboys might call timeout there, but they're going to let Dak Prescott handle it at the line now that they've got Seattle scrambling a little bit.
Prescott, Jarwin, first down. Blake Jarwin was a walk-on at Oklahoma State. Was a free agent signed here with Dallas. Jeff Swaim lost to the broken wrist in Week 11 at Atlanta. And Jarwin, with his first 3 touchdowns in his young NFL career, came at the Giants last week.
Amari Cooper at the bottom.
Prescott for Gallup, not there. Griffin in coverage.
I said it earlier, Joe. I am surprised with Amari Cooper and his abilities. And Trey Flowers, of course, the Cowboys don't know to the extent that he's banged up, but he definitely has a wrap on that left ankle after he left the game. That they haven't tried to target him a little bit more when he's been one-on-one, which has been most of this half.
Play clock at 5. On second down, same play. Pass is caught. Gallup. Touchdown. And a perfect throw from Dak Prescott for the 11-yard score.
Like you said, Joe, they tried it earlier in the game. They tried it on the previous play. They've tried to take their shots to Michael Gallup one-on-one, and this time they're able to connect. You're right, a well-thrown ball by Dak Prescott, and even with good coverage by Griffin, Gallup able to haul that in for the touchdown.
And the first touchdown of the game belongs to the home team. That was dropped in beautifully by Dak Prescott.
Yeah, it really was. And, you know, you got a target and you want to drop it right down in there along that boundary. You can see that's pretty good coverage right there. He's not getting his head around quite as early as what you'd like, but even with essentially one arm, Gallup able to haul that in. And we talked about it, how important these red zone possessions are in a game like this. The Cowboys finally cash in.
He came in as the number 29 red zone offense in the league during the regular year. Gallup becomes the 7th different receiver that Dak Prescott has found for a completion in this first half. And the rookie, 3rd-round pick out of Colorado State, who had 2 touchdowns during the regular season, gets a big one here with under half a minute to go in the first half.
Yeah, so the big run by Ezekiel Elliott on 3rd and 1. He goes 44 yards, and that's what sets him up with the big play and being able to get the touchdown before the half.
Yeah, they moved the football after the initial spot, so officially a 44-yard run, which is a season long for Ezekiel Elliott. Lockett will bring it. And have a crease. Tyler Lockett gives Seattle hope here at the end of the half with 16 seconds left. And the kicker, Brett Maher, made the tackle. 52-yard return. And you now know after this season, I think just how good Tyler Lockett is. He played through injuries over the last couple of years, but they rewarded him with a new 3-year contract extension, and he is good.
Boy, there's no question, and he's capable of going the distance anytime he has the ball. Maher saves what very well could have been a touchdown. After a Sunday where they were just dismal on special teams, they come up big here right before the half with 16 seconds.
Wilson out to his right, Dixon with the grab. Van Der Esch on the tackle, and Ed Dixon is playing in his 15th career postseason game.
Well, Sebastian Janikowski, he has hit from 63 yards. And so right now, this is his range right here at 63, or I say range. He's hit from here. This would be 63 if they don't get any more yardage.
2 timeouts, 11 seconds left. Pass is caught. Tackle is made. Timeout is taken. That's Dixon again, who won a ring with the Ravens. And Van Der Esch is out there covering, and now with 6 seconds left, Seahawks are down to 1 timeout. Chris, how about some more on Sebastian Janikowski?
Yeah, and I know Troy talked to him before the game. I did too. He was rather jovial for a change. He made from 62, 63 in the pregame warmups. He told me he would try a 68-yarder and feel comfortable if it was at the end of the half or the end of the game.
He is a former 17th overall pick in the first round back in 2000 by Oakland. And one of 4 guys still active in the league that were active when old number 8 was slinging it around for the Dallas Cowboys. Third down and 3 here.
Yeah, Russell Wilson has to be real smart here. The ball's got to come out quick. Got to be ready to call timeout.
Instead, Dallas takes a timeout. If the kick happens from this spot, you're looking at a 60-yard try. Janikowski is over the age of 40 in his 19th year. I mean, I know what he says. This would be pushing the outer edge of his field goal range.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk involved right here. I'm not so sure that I wouldn't just trot Janikowski out there and let him give it his best shot.
3rd down and 3. And they run it right up the middle, and sliding is Mike Davis. They take their final timeout. And it will be a long field goal try by Janikowski after a gain of 4.
That was well done with Mike Davis understanding. Of course, they had time to talk to him about it, that we're going to run the ball, and even if you have a lane, just knowing that there's only 6 seconds on the clock, that if the Cowboys are soft and they're letting you run, you're going to run out of time, get to the ground. So that's what he does, and help this field goal attempt a little bit more.
It'll be a 57-yard try, which would be a season long for Janikowski. Hit from 56 at Chicago week 2. This would also be a Seattle postseason record. He hooked it. And Janikowski comes away limping and grabbing his left hamstring. Tried to air it out from 57. And that's something that we could be revisiting in the second half of this game. The play of the first half is presented by DirecTV. More for your thing. That's our thing. The only touchdown of the first half. This throw from Prescott to the rookie Michael Gallup from 11 yards out. Put the Cowboys on top. They lead by 4. And the Visa halftime is coming your way after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
'Cause we're gonna be legends, gonna get their attention. What we're doing here ain't just scary, it's about to be legendary. Yeah, we're gonna be legends, gonna teach them all lessons.
That was today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. It's a 10-6 game at the half. The Seahawks will start this second half with a football. Welcome back into the booth. I'm Joe Buck with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, and defenses dominated in that first half. Only one touchdown. It belongs to Dallas, and the story going out was the leg of Janikowski.
Yeah, we'll see how he is in this second half and what a factor that will be in this ball game, the way that the first half went. But Seattle's got to get something going on the offensive side of the ball. It's just been a struggle. They've had a few big plays that have set up some of their points. Their 6 points. They could have kept it a 1-point game. I would think that Pete Carroll would have been, overall happy with that score, all things considered. But a good job by Dallas. 3rd and 1, the big run by Elliott, and the only touchdown then in the game to give them 10.
Lockett, who had the big kick return at the end of the first half, will watch it sail into the end zone. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Joe, Sebastian Janikowski doubtful officially with a thigh injury, reaching for his left hamstring. He didn't come out of the locker room. Rookie punter Michael Dixon came out early to work on some of his kicks. Now, he told me he didn't practice field goals before, but he can drop kick field goals and drop kick extra points. He has practiced onside kicks. One other adjustment on the offensive line. They're having trouble calling signals after Dallas's defense shows them different looks. They hope to change that in the second half.
All right, so drama with the special teams for Seattle. Kickoff shouldn't be too much of an issue, but field goal tries will. Here's a handoff to Carson, and a play made by Jalen Smith. Now to the other side, and Aaron Andrews.
Jason Garrett very happy with his defense in the first half. He said the point of emphasis was to stop the run, and he said Russell Wilson did in fact hurt us a bit on a few big plays. I did ask him here in the second half if they would try to target Trey Flowers a little bit more when he was matched up on Amari Cooper, and he said with Allen Hurns out right now, they're really going to have to manage this wide receiver position because they are concerned about Cole Beasley here in the second half.
2nd down and 9. Blitz off the edge. Handoff to Carson. There's Van Der Esch and Smith right in the middle of it again. 3rd down coming up.
Well, they're trying to pound the ball with Chris Carson, but it's been tough sledding. His longest run on the night is just 5 yards, averaging under 2 yards a carry, and they're not going to give it up. I mean, that's certainly what this team is built around, and Brian Schottenheimer now trying to find something to help them pick up this 3rd down. They've only picked up 1 all night.
Third down and 7. Blitz. Wilson throws. Pass incomplete for Lockett. We've seen Jalen Smith spy on Russell Wilson, and we've seen Jalen Smith coming after Russell Wilson with quite a few blitzes.
Yeah, and he's really good when he does blitz. It's something he did a lot of when he was in college at Notre Dame, and something that he enjoys doing here with the Cowboys, and he's effective. And even though he didn't get home, there's pressure pushed back into Russell Wilson that he just has not had many clean looks.
Michael Dixon to punt. End over end. Tavon Austin from just outside his 20. Out to the 28. 51-yard punt, 8-yard return. Cowboys will have it for the first time in the second half. Up 4. Next Sunday night after football, tune in to FS1 for a huge super middleweight title fight as Jose Uzcategui defends his belt against undefeated Caleb Plant. That's live after football next Sunday on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. This drive for Dallas starts at their own 39. As you look at Ken Norton Jr., former teammate of yours at 39. It's the 29, first down, first possession, second half. Elliott right side cuts back a bit. He's had the one big run of 44 yards. Otherwise, he's been bottled up by Seattle for the most part, a gain of 3.
Well, this Seattle defense really has, they've given up yards throughout the season, but they've been able to get off the field on third downs, and they've been able to create takeaways. And as I said earlier in this game, that was really the formula for beating Dallas the last 2 times that they've met, and the struggles continue for the Seattle offense. They've had 7 possessions, 4 of them have ended in a 3 and out. And it looks like this defense is going to have to create some takeaways to help out their offensive group.
On second down, the pass is caught by Beasley, a yard short of a first down. That time Ezekiel Elliott fanned out to his right, and Seattle had Shaq Griffin across from him. Elliott with a Dallas running back record with 77 catches on the year. That led the team, a career high. And he became the 5th player all time with over 1,400 rushing yards and 75 or more catches in a season in NFL history.
I still think there's some untapped potential in his abilities as a receiver.
Extra offensive lineman in there. Elliott won't get it. What a good play up front made by Seattle. The first guy there was McDougal, but there was Bobby Wagner, the all-pro linebacker, there to make sure Elliott didn't pick it up.
That's a great job by Bobby Wagner and filling the hole and being right there. Bradley McDougal and Bobby Wagner just finish him off. They've had some problems on 3rd and short against the Seattle defense.
Elliott during the year 13 of 19 on 3rd and 1. He was stopped there. Jones hits his best of the game. Lockett lets it go over his head, and it hits out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Good punt by Chris Jones. But you know they loved it. Pete Carroll, their terrific head coach, and the fiery head coach, loved what that Seahawk defense just did. Aerial coverage brought to you by State Farm. Inside this big, at least tonight, covered stadium, they had a decision to make. Open up the roof or keep it closed. They keep it closed. 10th year this has been the home to the Dallas Cowboys. The defensive battle continues as Wilson gets protection. Protection runs out, and here's Dixon who makes the catch. Russell Wilson did not panic, was under pressure, and completes to Dixon for 9 yards.
He's a pretty cool customer, isn't he? When he's in the pocket, he's got pressure coming right after him. Jeff Heath is the one who misses him, and then he just flips it out to Dixon. They had a 2-man route down the field trying to take a shot. He had a chance, but he just had to hold it longer than he wanted to, and with Heath then coming after him, That was a nice job of turning that into a positive play.
Here's Penny, the rookie and first-round pick out of San Diego State, carrying for the first down and a gain of 5.
Well, they've got some backs. Chris Carson, of course, he gets the load. And Rashad Penny, he had missed a couple games. He returned last week. Had minimal success in that win against Arizona, but he's had some games. He can fly. He's 4'4". And then, of course, Mike Davis. All of those guys had over 400 yards rushing.
Here's Penny again. Nice move. And the rookie with a big carry into Dallas territory. Heath downfield on the stop, but Rashad Penny carries for 28.
Well, Ed Dixon, the tight end, he's going to come out. He's going to take on the cornerback, Awuzie. You see as he comes off of that, and he makes pretty good block leaving a lane. Awuzie doesn't make much of an effort in trying to make a play, but that's the speed that Penny gives him.
Now Penny goes backward, and Randy Gregory made the stop. And after the big run, a loss of 7. And a big defensive play by Randy Gregory.
Well, they're trying to block it down with Dixon, but the left tackle, Dwayne Brown, he kind of knocks him off of it. And it allows Gregory then, just a clean shot. Just didn't execute that blocking scheme very well, and the Seahawks suffered from it with a big loss.
Doug Baldwin's been targeted twice, does not have a catch in this game. Byron Jones looking for some sort of clarification. 2nd down and 17. Here's Carson, incomplete. Now 3rd and 17.
Well, the one drive that the Seahawks were able to put together in that first half, a couple of big plays down the field that set them up. And, really other than that, this Cowboys defense, they do not give up much. They make you earn every single yard. They're outstanding in minimizing the big plays. They just haven't given Russell Wilson many places to go with the ball since that time. They're playing awfully soft right now with 3rd and long.
Pass is caught by Van Ness. Nothing out there. Leighton Vander Esch closed down on it, and that is going to bring up 4th and 12. That was an odd play call.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. There was no chance whatsoever of picking up the first down. So again, negative plays and a drive.
A loss of 7 on that carry by Penny after the long run. So Dixon to punt. Cole Beasley waits for it back at his own 11. Kept out of the end zone. And the play made by Nico Thorpe. Thorpe able to keep it out. What an effort. And the Cowboys will start inside their 5, up 4. Just made a tremendous play. You see members of the special teams unit, whether it's the rookie punter Michael Dixon or Janikowski out with a bad leg. But here's Nico Thorpe. And after a down day against Arizona, a couple of big plays by Seattle special teams. Starting at the 2. Up by 4. They carry with Elliott. Looked like he ran into the tight end Dalton Schultz and had to spin just to get out of the end zone. A gain of 1.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and a great job by Ezekiel Elliott then being able to come off of this collision with Schultz and pick up a couple yards. I mean, that's pretty good. Now, we talked about it. This game being a game of field position, who's going to win here? Who's going to be able to move the ball and pick up a first down and regain field position? And can the Seattle Seahawks make a stop and give the ball back to their offense in great position?
Prescott from the end zone throws incomplete for Cooper. And so now 3rd down and 9 with the ball sitting at the 3-yard line.
Well, I would think Scott Linehan, 3rd and 9, how aggressive does he want to be in trying to pick this up? And will they run some type of screen, something safe, something conservative?
No turnovers in this game. You saw the record for Prescott, 25-1 when he does not turn it over. 3rd down and 9, and this one is just thrown at the feet of Elliott. It's 3 and out, and great work by the Seahawk defense.
Yeah, they bring the blitz. Seahawks don't blitz often, but they brought it there, and they pick up. You're going to see Ezekiel Elliott. He's going to run the screen, and it's picked up beautifully. And just know where to go, and Dak Prescott does the right thing with Wagner right in his face. So that's a great job. You talked about it. Nico Thorpe, he makes a heck of a play, pinning him down, inside the 5-yard line. The defense does their job. Russell Wilson and company should have outstanding field position here now.
Chris Jones starting from the back of his end zone, and if he can go back at all, he'll do it now.
False start, number 89, offense, half the distance to the goal and still 4th down.
That's against Blake Jarwin. And so now that area is closed down even more. Seattle's had that 51-yard kick return. The play by Thorpe, and now an opportunity here for Seattle up front. Jones got it away, and Lockett with a sliding catch near the 45. They're going to mark Lockett down at the 44 of Dallas. Great field position for the Seahawks, down 4. It has been a battle, certainly in the trenches, a battle of these two good defenses. A 10-6 game. Best starting field position of the game for the Seahawks after just a 43-yard punt, but all things considered, pretty good effort by Chris Jones starting that play just in front of the back line of the end zone. Penny in the backfield. Blitz off the edge, and Penny carries up the middle for 3. On his way to AT&T Stadium, Commissioner Roger Goodell surprised Cowboys superfan Stoney and Diana Kirsch with a visit. He toured their house, which then turned into a Cowboys museum in Arlington, Texas. And the tour ended with a spontaneous invitation to join the commissioner for tonight's game and 2 Super Bowl tickets for those 2 super fans.
Pretty awesome.
2nd down and 7. Hand off to Carson. A lot of dancing around and back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. By the way, throughout the season, the NFL has been giving away 500 Super Bowl tickets to passionate fans like the Kirsches and other community leaders, youth football coaches, and those who have served our country. So now 3rd down. And we'll see if the Seahawks can take advantage of this good starting field position. It's 3rd and 7.
Well, they've had a hard time, obviously, on 3rd down, and they just continue to run the football, and yet really nothing to show for it. They had the one run by Penny for 28 yards, but other than that, they have been shut down. The league's leading rushing attack has gone nowhere.
Just got it away. They hand to Davis. He's to the 40, and that's it.
Yeah, I think they were looking at this, hoping to catch Dallas off guard a little bit on 3rd down, get more out of that, and look at this as 4-down territory. Russell Wilson staying out on the field.
Van Der Esch made that stop, and so now the decision by Pete Carroll. You go for it here, and you don't get it. Well, then you hand Dallas good starting field position.
Well, you're trusting your defense and being able to make a play. And, this game, like we talked about, the commitment to the run game, but they've been so ineffective. It's going to be Russell Wilson, and they're going to have to give him more opportunities than just on 3rd down to pick up plays.
Wilson floats it. Pass is caught for the 1st down by Baldwin. The initial indication was the catch was good, and let's watch. Brilliant call. Unbelievable catch by Doug Baldwin, his first of the night.
Sorry, Joe. Everybody in the secondary is saying it's incomplete, but that's a great job of knowing where he was, securing the catch, and putting his feet down.
What a big play. Mark that for Seattle as Mike Davis carries. gains 3. This was a catch.
This was a catch, and it was an unbelievable throw with pressure again in Russell Wilson's face. This guy, he really is a technician. I've loved Doug Baldwin since he came into the league and what he's shown in Seattle. That is great work on his part. An undrafted guy out of Stanford in 2011. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he's been making plays for a long time.
22 yards on 4th and 6. Now 2nd and 7. Handoff is to Davis. Another 3rd down coming up. But remember, while they're in here, they don't have Janikowski. We watched what happened during the break at halftime with Michael Dixon trying to kick field goals. It wasn't very pretty. He can drop kick, by the way, but trying the conventional way, it didn't look very good.
No, that's being kind, too.
3rd down and 5.
Looks like Jalen Smith is coming again.
Russell Wilson keeps and gets it. Down to the 5-yard line. Gain 7 to set up 1st and goal.
Well, that's a good design. They bottle everybody up. They block down on Van Der Esch. They swing Van Nett around. He gets Byron Jones. That's really nice execution by Seattle.
Just the 2nd carry of the game, but the biggest for Russell Wilson. First down and goal. Carson to the 4. Tyrone Crawford, who somehow is able to get back in there. We were here a couple of weeks ago when he left after suffering what was diagnosed as a stinger in a scary moment here against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 2nd and goal.
Well, we'll see. I always thought that 2nd down was an awfully good down for play action. They've been heavy on the run. Now they go to the spread set with one back in the backfield.
Wilson keeps going to his right for the touchdown. And the Seahawks will go for 2. We've had our 3rd lead change of the game, and it's a 4-yard touchdown carry by Russell Wilson.
Yeah, the read option, they're reading DeMarcus Lawrence on that touchdown, and we'll see what they've got now. DeMarcus Lawrence at the end there, he collapses on Chris Carson. Van Nett once again, he's on the block on Heath, and a walk-in for Wilson.
3rd career rushing touchdown of the postseason for Wilson. Didn't have any rushing touchdowns during the regular season this year.
Well, the Seattle Seahawks are 1 for 1 on the year on 2-point plays.
It's Davis. He's got it. And the #1 rushing attack in the NFL this season just pounds it in. And now it's Seattle up by 4.
Well, Nick Van Nett right here, you can see the block that he makes. He had a few good blocks, and of course Mike Davis does a really good job of navigating that. He's in the hole initially, and he's able to sidestep it and show some of his power and punch it in.
Well, it was a 4th down catch by Doug Baldwin that goes into the category of brilliant, that set it up, and then Russell Wilson, who converted a 3rd down, carries it into the end zone over the other side for the 3rd time in his postseason career, where he has gone 8-4 as a starting quarterback.
Well, he's unbelievable. I mean, this is a quarterback and an offense and really an organization in a lot of ways that you can hold them down, but they're just going to keep coming after you. That's a great job for an offense that's been shut down throughout this game to make plays when they had to.
Now the drop kick by Dixon It is fielded by Rod Smith, and the backup to Ezekiel Elliott gives Dallas pretty good starting field position out across their 30 at their own 33. He's done this before. He did it against Chicago. He did it against Kansas City. This was kind of a knuckler. It took that quick bounce, and then he knocked it into the arms of Rod Smith.
Yeah, they're just trying to weather this deal as best they can, and hoping that this game doesn't come down to him having to make a field goal and a big kick.
Prescott finds Gallup. This month, Fox brings you the biggest television event of the year from executive producer Ridley Scott, starring Mark-Paul Gosselaar and based on the best-selling trilogy The Passage. Premieres Monday, January 14th here on Fox. Second down and 3. You know, when you think about it, that touchdown sequence really began on that play by Nico Thorpe. Then the 3 and out,
right.
A good field position, a conversion on 4th down with Baldwin. Russell Wilson took care of the rest. Davis for 2 points. Here's Elliott, a yard short of a first down. A gain of 2 as Barkevius Mingo was out there on the edge to make the stop.
Well, can they pick it up this time? The last time they were in this situation, Ezekiel Elliott got stuffed. Going back to their week 3 game, they had 4 opportunities on 3rd and 2 or less, and they only converted 1 of those. This is a down offensively that you just need to win.
They've failed on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 in this game. Prescott keeps, drops it to Noah Brown, and he's got the first down. And then Brown gets up jarring with Tedrick Thompson. Noah Brown had just 5 catches, Troy Sorry, during the regular season, and that's the 8th different receiver Prescott has found.
Yeah, the right idea. They've been stuffed, and then you get Noah Brown, and of course Dak Prescott out on the edge. He has the ability to run as well if it's covered up. That's just their 3rd conversion on 3rd down tonight.
And the 3rd quarter ends with the first down of the second half for the Dallas Cowboys. He usually does. One of the most optimistic head coaches in the NFL, and one of the most demonstrative, has his Seahawks up by 4. Back after this from your local Fox station. It's been an impressive night for that Seattle Seahawks defense. The offense gets a chance to take a seat. They've given Seattle a 4-point lead. First down for Dallas at their own 48. Toss to Elliott, running left. Not much out there. Well played by Seattle. Flowers on the stop, down to Aaron Andrews.
Well, after Dallas's defense came off the field, linebacker Jalen Smith walked up to me and in so many words said, "We're going to be fine. It's going to be okay." There is concern, however, for defensive tackle Malik Collins. He is questionable to return with a left ankle injury. They were taping him up. They put him in the tent. He's out there. They can trying to see if he'll be able to go.
He has the only sack of the game for Dallas tonight. Collins, 2nd down and 8. Prescott throws, wide open is Cooper. Little stutter step and fights down near the 15.
Well, you can see the square in here by Amari Cooper, and he gets open because they run Blake Jarwin through the middle of the defense, and it makes the middle linebacker there turn and run, and it opens up that lane. And just getting ready to say, the Cowboys, their longest completion prior to that was just 15 yards, having a hard time getting big plays. They finally do.
34 yards, and now Elliott takes it inside the 10 to about the 9.5. McDougal on the stop, gain of 6. And the Cowboys are hurrying it up over the last 2 plays. Prescott's going to run it. Cuts back. Reaches. Touchdown, Dallas. First, we'll see that he is into the end zone. That right hand, the lunge, close.
That's close. It looks pretty good from what I could tell. Bradley McDougald was the only guy who really had a shot at Dak Prescott. He didn't look like he wanted any part of Prescott on trying to make that play, but, well, right there you have it. He's short.
On the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
And he looks to be inches short. It would be 1st and goal if he's ruled to be short of the goal line. We'll get the call when we come back. Here's the definitive look. During the break, they reversed the call, so it is 1st and goal. They said from the 1-foot line. It's probably even closer than that. So no touchdown for Prescott. The points are off the board. 1st down and goal. And there is nothing taken for granted in the postseason. Elliott stumbles, and now he's back outside the 1. Quentin Jefferson was through there, but I think Elliott lost his footing, and then Jefferson was there for Seattle, and there's a little trip.
Yeah, he kind of started to lose his footing, it looked like, or maybe trying to put his foot in the ground and then make a cut because he saw Jefferson coming. But yeah, what started out, like you said, about the 6-inch line is where that was. They lose some yardage.
Anxious moments, anxious here in Arlington as Elliott gets in to definitively put Dallas back on top. That is lead change number 4 of this wild card matchup. Here's the touchdown.
And you can see Deion Jordan as well, number 95. He's in the hole to make a play, and it just shows you, how hard it is to get Ezekiel Elliott to the ground. Rarely, I commented on it earlier, rarely do you see him go backwards. He's always finished. He's maybe the best. He obviously led the league in rushing this year. He's a great runner, but he may be the greatest finisher in the game of football, running the ball. You just don't see him go backwards, and he cashes in.
That's a 35th career touchdown for Elliott in 42 career games, regular and postseason. Three-point Dallas lead. Biggest play on that drive was the longest completion of the game for Dak Prescott to Amari Cooper.
Yeah, this was it was a good design with Seattle on 3rd down. They play coverage with 2 deep safeties. They run Jarwin through the middle, and it opens up that hole. And then here is Ezekiel Elliott finishing him off with the touchdown. So, as is generally the case, and it has been for Seattle tonight, you get big plays, they usually end in points. They get the big 34-yard play from Amari Cooper, sets up the touchdown for Elliott.
Dak Prescott, who came in 0-2 in his young career against the Seahawks. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, quarterback rating combined of 52.9. 2 of his 4 lowest quarterback ratings have come because of this Seahawks defense. Better tonight. 21 of 29, 199, 1 touchdown, no turnovers. And now a 3-point lead. Just down the street from AT&T Stadium is a bowling fan's dream. Bowling's International Training and Research Center. And coincidentally, tomorrow, the first ever PBA event on FS1 will take place right there. PBA Hall of Fame Classic. As Russell Wilson, who knows a thing or two about pulling victories out of the fire late in ball games in the fourth quarter or overtime. He's done it 27 times in his career. Still 12 and a half minutes to go, but now his team down by 3. Hand off to Carson, nothing. DeMarcus Lawrence playing the run. Loss of 1.
It is. Every time Chris Carson has gotten the ball tonight, he has just run into a wall. He has not had anywhere to go. Like I said, his longest run of the night, still just 5 yards. You know, Rashad Penny, he had the big run, but other than that, there just has been nothing on the ground. And I know they want to continue to run the football, and they need to a certain extent. But they also need to let Russell Wilson do his thing.
They fake it to Carson. Wilson out to his right, throws on the move, and the pass caught by Baldwin. He's forced out of bounds. Awuzie covering, a gain of 5, so third down coming.
It has been interesting with Russell Wilson this year in that, you know, the pass attempts are down. Nobody attempted fewer passes per game than Seattle did, just 26 per game, and yet his efficiency was the best it's been all year, career high in touchdown passes. He hasn't run the ball as much this year either, a career low in rushing attempts, but we've seen the effectiveness when he has tucked it and run with the ball tonight.
Seattle 2 for 10 on third down. Lockett downfield, pass broken up. Awuzie and Pete Carroll looking for a flag, as there must not have been contact with Awuzie not getting his head around.
No, he never did. He was kind of right up in the chest of Lockett, and I think it's a good no call. I mean, really, it's Lockett who was pushing on Awuzie. Awuzie never even really made the contact or initiated it anyway.
Byron Jones is the Cowboys Pro Bowl corner. There are some who think Awuzie has played better down the stretch.
I'm one of those.
Oh, nice to meet you. 4th down and 6. And the punt from Dixon. Beauty. I mean, just bombed. Austin back inside the 15. Makes a cut. No flags. Austin tripped up a bit and out of bounds inside the Seattle 40. Dixon was the one, the punter, who made Austin change direction. And then it was Ed Dixon downfield who was there to force him out. 53-yard punt return by Tavon Austin.
Well, like you said, Dixon bombed it. And when that happens, it gives a guy like Tavon Austin a lot of room before the coverage can get down the field to cover it up. He makes one guy miss, and all of a sudden he's got a lot of room and open space. They're fortunate that that was not a house call.
Well, they had punting woes last week, and their Week 17 win over Arizona had a punt blocked, one deflected, gave up a big return, and now this one by Tavon Austin. He missed 9 games during the regular season with a groin injury. Prescott, Cooper, nice adjustment by Cooper, and a catch down near the 11. 27-yard completion to Amari Cooper.
Well, this is a good design. They have Amari Cooper in the slot, and Coleman, their slot corner, is trying to run with him, and he just simply can't do it. So, you know, they roll Dak Prescott to his right. They expected even a bigger play than this, that they may be able to hit a home run shot and come away with a touchdown, getting the middle safety out of there. So a good design with Scott Linehan and a big play.
The question is there going to be a challenge? You could see on that catch. Remember the rule change coming into this year. The catch, both feet down, and then the ability to make another football act. Will this meet the criteria, even though this ball rolled just a bit, and will the call stand? Challenge by Pete Carroll. 4 for 5 on challenges this year. A big call when we come back. During the break, they confirmed the call on the field. With that rule change, the completed catch, that third step in essence, And so it goes down as a 27-yard catch by Cooper to set up first down at the 11. And Cooper over 100 yards yet again for the Cowboys. Flag is down as Ezekiel Elliott cuts back. And for the moment gains 4. Initial indication is it's against Dallas.
Illegal formation. Offense. Tight end was covered by the wide receiver. It's a 5-yard penalty and still first down.
So by the way, Pete Carroll now is down to 1 challenge, and that miss on the challenge costs the Seahawks their first time out of the half.
Well, you look at this game, Joe, and we've talked all year really about the difference that Amari Cooper has made. We'll see what happens on this possession, but his reception on the prior possession set up that touchdown for Ezekiel Elliott, and then of course another big play there, over 100 yards on 7 receptions for Amari Cooper tonight.
Play action. Prescott floats. Pass is picked by KJ Wright. Noah Brown was the target, and KJ Wright just made the play. And there's the first turnover of the game as it went off the hands of number 85.
Well, they had him. You could see that the ball's underthrown, and KJ Wright just trying to make up ground on Noah Brown, and what a job by KJ Wright sticking with it and then bringing it in. Well, the first turnover of the game, and a costly one that keeps the Cowboys from extending their lead.
What a great play by KJ Wright. Mike Pereira's with us. Enough early contact to warrant a flag or a good no call?
It was a great slow motion call, it would be, for defensive pass interference. But to me, it's one of those bang bang calls that the defender gets there just before the ball arrives. I like those when they're not called.
Yeah,
I like to catch the blatant ones.
It seemed, Joe, that, and also because the ball goes up and he makes the interception, I think there was a thought of maybe calling it.
Pass is caught by Van Nett. Flag is down as Damian Wilson, the linebacker, got up looking at the official. It looks like this is coming back.
Holding number 68, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's against Justin Britt, the center, and let's see if he was across and blocking Damian Wilson eventually. Right there.
Well, there's the contact. Obviously, there was contact made. When we were watching it live, Joe, I was looking to see if there was going to be pass interference on the call. And I think just the sequence of events there, whether or not, like Mike said, slow motion, it looks a little bit different, obviously. Whether or not they would have called it, or because of the ball being deflected and then him making the play, does that keep him from calling? I don't know.
Here's Baldwin. Vander Esch on the stop. That, by the way, was the 4th red zone turnover for Dallas this year, and now a late flag comes flying in after the play.
A late flag, and Xavier Woods.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 78, offense. Half the distance to the goal, it'll be second down.
That's against DJ Fluker, who's back after missing starts with a bad hamstring. Right at the top of the screen, and he hits Jalen Smith right in the back.
Yeah, those are tough calls, and Pete Carroll, you can see here's a better look at it. This Seattle offense going backwards after that great play by KJ Wright.
Started at the 20, they're back inside the 10. Wilson swings it out. That's Lockett. Tries to split defenders. He'll give Anthony Brown the tackle. The other player out there was Byron Jones, a gain of 2. Boy, a holding call on Britt. And then the personal foul against Fluker. And what looked like a golden opportunity to regain momentum in this game is slipping through the fingers of the Seahawks right now.
Yeah, it sure is. And this Dallas defense has been awfully good. here on third down and shutting down this offense. We got Tyler Lockett now being assisted off the field. So that's not good for the rest of this game. It's especially not good for here on 3rd and 20.
Seahawks have to get out to the 30 for a first down. Four-man rush, set up a screen for Davis, and just buying a bit of breathing room for the punter Dixon. Davis gets 13. And here are the two penalties. First, the hold by Justin Britt on Damian Wilson right here, and then DJ Fluker with this late hit on Jalen Smith.
But that 3rd and long, 3rd and 20, the Cowboys were so soft that Seattle, they got some decent yardage off of that, and now at least they allow Michael Dixon to make a punt and not give up so much field position.
Line drive, end over end punt. This time it's Beasley, made a man miss, and now dives out near the 38, which is where the Cowboys will have it. 7:20 left in this wild card playoff game. Dallas up 3. Ezekiel Elliott, 21 carries, 106 yards, averaging 5 yards a pop. He had the 44-yarder in that first half. Cowboys, last time they had it, had opportunity, but threw a red zone pick. Great play by KJ Wright. Now they get it back. Starting at their 37, they run it with Elliott, and there's KJ Wright. What a game he's had. Gain of 2.
You don't think they missed him while he was gone? I mean, he's really a great player, and he has been for a long time. And he has that ability. He plays the run. He just did there on Ezekiel Elliott. But they really like about him is his length and his ability to cover running backs and tight ends. And what a big play he made moments ago.
Yeah, he's got 3 career interceptions. 2 have been against Prescott. Second down and 8. Prescott throws it away. Dipping and ducking, trying to avoid the sack, which he did, but now it's 3rd down and 8. And remember, as we sit here in a 3-point game, Seattle is without their kicker Janikowski, so there is nothing automatic down the stretch the rest of the way for the Seattle Seahawks.
No, and it makes you wonder exactly what Pete Carroll is thinking in regards to that. Does he even want to try to put it in Michael Dixon's hands on a drop kick of some sort? However he wants to go about it, or is everything essentially once they get down to that area, is everything 4-down territory?
It's 3rd down and 8. Pass is broken up. Gallup was the target, and a flag flies from the secondary. KJ Wright in coverage.
Pass interference, number 50, defense. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
KJ Wright, it looked to me like he might have hooked him and turned him with the right arm. He's got it around his waist, and he didn't look like he turned him so much. Maybe a touch, but that's what was seen, and that's what the call. That's why the flag came in.
The automatic first down. Here's Elliott. On the other side of midfield, Bobby Wagner with the tackle, a gain of 5 with under 6.5 to go. trying to bounce it. Good play by Griffin. 3rd and short coming up. A gain of 1, maybe 1.5.
Well, they like that formation there where they motion Noah Brown across, and then he helps kind of lead the way because of his size. At 225 pounds, he's like another tight end, but they have some play action off of that too. And we've seen him throw the ball to Noah, but I wouldn't be surprised that before this game ends, on an early down with Noah Brown, that they don't try to slip him past and get a shot.
Yellow 80! Yellow 80! Hey, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. 180, what's it?
3rd down and 4. Prescott pulls it down. Pass is incomplete. Flag as Beasley ends up on the ground. And it's against Seattle.
Double
Pass
move.
interference, number 28. Defense, automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Both the pass interference calls coming on 3rd down. One on KJ Wright, this one on Justin Coleman.
Yeah, I don't think Pete Carroll agrees with either one of those calls. I like the call, though, by offensive coordinator Scott Linehan. It's 3rd and medium, and they're going to run a double move with Cole Beasley on their slot corner, who's playing out wide on a double move. They get the penalty and a new set of downs.
Prescott keeps. And after getting through KJ Wright, gains 5 yards.
Well, they're ripping at the ball coming when Dak Prescott, as he's starting to go to the ground. I think it was Frank Clark who was coming in and trying to just rip it out of there. And Prescott being very smart, securing the football. Right here, KJ Wright kind of stands him up a little bit. It's actually Jake Martin. He gets it moving a little bit, but that's what this defense has been so good at, and they've been trying it throughout this game. They just have not been able to jar one loose.
Here's Elliott on 2nd down, 1st down. A gain of 6, and there's Martin on the stop, and double-fisted is Elliott asking to be fed.
Well, the Cowboys right now, they're about to go into their 4-minute offense and see if they just can't put this game away. And they continue to take time off the clock, run the football with Ezekiel Elliott, move the chains. And if they can wind this thing down and come away with a touchdown, it's all but over.
Dallas took over at their own 37 with 7 minutes, 20 seconds left. Coming up on 3.5 left. Elliott, Griffin can't bring him down. Elliott stays in bounds and has another 1st down. And this is where number 21 can take over a game.
Yeah, he can really take over a game at any time. And this is the strength and the power that he has. I mean, he's got such rare combinations of speed, quickness, power. And like I said, he finishes each and every time. He came into this season after the suspension last year. I think he was embarrassed by what happened, missing time, hurt this team, certainly hurt the offense. Didn't make the postseason, came into the year with a chip on his shoulder, wanted to prove himself, and he's done it every week.
This is the biggest rushing day against the Seahawks all year. Here's Smith. A gain of half a yard. Here are the 3rd down penalties that have allowed this drive to continue. KJ Wright with a bit of a hook for a pass interference call, and then Justin Coleman getting tangled up with Cole Beasley. Seattle just used their 2nd timeout before a 2nd down and 9. And it's interesting when you know the other team is, going to be going for touchdowns now without the field goal. You think if you're Dallas, you lead by 3, you're in field goal range, that gets you a 6-point lead, but typically that's a big deal here down the stretch. But Seattle more than likely is going to be going for touchdowns no matter what the score is, and we'll see how this drive ends up with a 2nd and 9 in Seattle with 1 timeout left.
Yeah, well, the chances are drying up for Seattle. They're going to have to make a stop here. on this set of downs. Second down here, they've had their opportunities. They've gotten Dallas 2 third downs. The penalties have kept the drive going.
Hey, come back!
Second and 9, they run it with Elliott. Flag is down, and so is Elliott. About 1.5 yards, maybe 2 short of a first down, and it's against Dallas for an illegal shift.
Tell you what, that's a little disheartening if you're Seattle when you
Illegal
know.
shift, number 85, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And what a costly penalty here by Noah Brown. Let's see what happens, and he just never gets set, and that's on Dak Prescott. He's got to let him get set. Either that or Noah Brown is in motion then, and he can't turn as though he is going to get set. But regardless, a pre-snap penalty in that situation after the game, like I said, Seattle's got to be demoralizing for them. They know Dallas is going to run the ball with Elliott, and yet they give up a lot of yardage right there in the middle, but it comes back.
Second down and 14 now. Prescott throws and incomplete for Gallup.
I tell you, he would have been better off, of course, now that with the clock stopping with the incompletion. Saved Seattle another timeout now with third down. So a huge penalty in this game by Noah Brown, which essentially the Cowboys were right there about to pick up another first down and run this thing out.
Yeah, it would have been, what, third down and 2, maybe 1.5 yards. Instead it backed him up. It forced the pass. The incompletion stops the clock. Big call now, third down and 14.
Here's Amari Cooper. And he's one-on-one, no help.
Prescott going to carry. And reach, flip, sets up first and goal at the 1. Prescott did it himself. Thompson with the hit, and that is where the ball will be placed, a 1/2 yard away from the end zone.
Well, let me tell you, the 2 guards, Zach Martin and Connor Williams, the left guard, they made that happen. They make 2 critical blocks in there along that defensive front that springs Prescott. Wow, you got third and long, and Seattle gives up the quarterback draw to Dak Prescott. How about that? That's a great job by Prescott going and getting it.
He sets up first and goal from inside the 1. He forces Seattle to use their final timeout with 2 minutes 14 seconds remaining. And Dak Prescott, there have been times this year where they have asked Dak to run the ball a little bit more. Such a weapon doing that. And to pick up a first down in that spot, 16 yards on 3rd and 14. What a play. Prescott keeps. No signal. Touchdown. And it's a 2-score game with 2 minutes 8 seconds left here in Arlington.
Yeah, why not? Let Dak Prescott finish it off. That's really a nice job. I tell you, Noah Brown, he ought to be going over there and thanking that offensive line and Dak Prescott after that penalty. It could have had huge ramifications on the outcome of this game. Seattle defensively hung in there as long as they could. Just didn't get much help from their offense.
Ten-point game. Great scene here tonight. Another great scene coming up on Saturday night in Los Angeles at the Coliseum. Boy, they had some home game fun this year with Jared Goff and that offense and Aaron Donald and the year that he put together. The Rams will host the best remaining NFC seed next Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, right here on Fox.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun in New Orleans as well, but Los Angeles getting to host a playoff game and coming off a bye week, and they've been a lot of fun to watch all year long. I'm excited. These are the two best weekends in football. Wild card weekend and divisional weekend. Saturday, Sunday, full of playoff football, and it looks like Dallas is going to move on.
They're the number 4 seed. But they won't know where they are headed until tomorrow's game between the Eagles and the Bears. Out to the 25, and you see Lockett back in there for Seattle. They'll need him if they're going to do anything over the last 2 minutes, 8 seconds. You knew the stats coming in. Pete Carroll has been on this great run in Seattle. It's the 7th time he's taken the Seahawks to the postseason in his 9 years. He got a contract extension. He and the Seahawks had never lost their first playoff game in any postseason. They are faced with a 10-point deficit here. Meanwhile, on the other side, Dak Prescott, who's gone 32-16 as an NFL starter, will try to even his postseason record at 1-1 after a loss 2 years ago to the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Lockett at the bottom of the screen, 2:08 left. Davis out of the backfield. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. And Davis injured after he got hit hard. 2 minutes left in Arlington. Cowboys up by 10. Well, Dak Prescott with a big carry on 3rd down. Got 16 yards on 3rd and 14, then popped it into the end zone for a 10-point lead. 2 minutes left, 2nd and 1. J.D. McKissick is now in there at running back for Seattle. Seahawks with no timeouts left. Wilson steps into it, has a man, pass caught. Lockett down inside the 15, and the Seahawks aren't finished yet. Byron Jones with the stop, but a completion of 53.
How do you allow Tyler Lockett to just essentially run right through the defense?
They hurry it up. End zone. Pass is incomplete. Van Ness, the closest to it, but back to that completion to Lockett.
It's unbelievable to me that you allow the fastest guy on the field in Tyler Lockett to essentially just run right past you with nobody playing coverage. Byron Jones is out there. Let him go. I know it was short yardage, but their only chance is a big play down the field.
They need a touchdown. They need 2 scores. They're going to need a successful onside kick in the middle of all of it. Pass is behind to the receiver Baldwin. And incomplete. Van Der Esch back there defending. Now 3rd down and 10.
We'll see what Brian Schottenheimer has dialed up and need a quick score. They had a chance on that last one, a ball that just got away from Russell Wilson. Cowboys have had success when they've brought pressure down here, but they're just going to go with a 4-man rush.
Third down and 10. Pressure off the edge. Pass is caught by McKissick. 4th down coming up. Byron Jones forced him out. And we'll see if Seattle can finish this quick drive.
Well, you just without Janikowski and no confidence, they go for it here on 4th down rather than go ahead and take the 3 points and then try your onside kick. So clearly Janikowski's injuries had an impact here in the second half.
4th down and 4. Pass is caught by McKissick for the touchdown. And there is hope for the Seahawks. The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Let's see where the ball is when McKissick ends up out of bounds, and that looks to be good.
It looks good, and Byron Jones in coverage, and he had his back to the sideline, and so you got McKissick with an outside breaking route. Hard then to will on that and make a play.
Seahawks will go for 2 again without their kicker. They were successful with Mike Davis pounding it in. So 2 for 2 on the year, 1 for 1 tonight. Carson back there now. Handoff to Carson. 2-point game. (24-22) with 1:18 remaining. No timeouts, but it's going to take a successful onside kick for Seattle to have a chance. Chris?
Joe, they were not comfortable, obviously, with Michael Dixon, the punter, drop kicking for even extra points. But he did tell me before this game that both he and Sebastian Janikowski have practiced onside kicks. Not sure if he's run a successful one in a game, but he said he was comfortable with an onside kick, and it looks like Seattle is going to try that with Dixon, the Australian rules player, on the spot.
Well, here's the injury, first of all, to Janikowski right at the end of the first half when he attempted a 57-yarder. Immediately grabbed for the hamstring. But Mike Pereira is with us, and Mike, with the rule change coming into this year, having to be balanced on either side of the kicker, not getting that head start with a run by the team trying to recover. Onside kicks were only 4 for 52, under 8% success.
Down actually from 21% in 2017.
Here's this little pop-up kick, and that could not have been any easier. Fielded by Beasley, and that was a gift.
Wasn't much of a chance, was it?
That is hard to explain. It's not as if Dallas didn't have anybody back there. And the little drop kick, maybe he got more of it than he expected, but this is the easiest catch in one of the biggest moments for Cole Beasley in his career.
No question. Pete Carroll, he can't believe it, but you don't come into a game, any game, and expect to lose your kicker the way they lost Janikowski at the first half.
No timeouts left for Seattle. Jason Garrett flips the headset off and believes that he is now 2-2 in the postseason in his 8th full year. He and the Cowboys wrapped up their 3rd division title over the last 5 years. Troy, they looked cooked at 3-5. They had road dates coming up with Philly and Atlanta. They went on that run, finished winners of 7 of their last 8. And here they are, it appears, moving on in the postseason.
Yeah, they made some moves that all paid off. And it obviously started the most prominent move with Amari Cooper. They also changed the offensive line coach, and they've been a different team ever since then. The defense has done their job throughout the year. They did once again tonight. Held the Seahawks to under 300 yards once again. And the Cowboys are moving on.
You saw that note. Since '96, the 3rd playoff win for Dallas. And for the Cowboys, they have not won more than 2 games in any one postseason since you and your teammates won the Super Bowl back in the '95 season. So it's been a while. And in this game, Ezekiel Elliott, 30 touches, 169 yards and a touchdown. Dak Prescott, a touchdown throw and a touchdown run. Amari Cooper with a 100-yard day receiving on 7 catches, 106. And the number 4 seeded Dallas Cowboys will have a date next week, either in New Orleans or in Los Angeles, depending on what happens with the Eagles and Bears tomorrow afternoon. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
You're loud. You just rolled your eyes. Your first playoff win. What?
I mean, this team, everything we've been through, we had so much confidence coming to the game, and our confidence remains. I mean, we just played a great Seattle team, but
Hey!
I mean, just honestly, it's just all about the way we fall, the way we compete through success and adversity. Proud of our guys.
Can we talk about the way this guy fought on 3rd down, running it for 16 yards to get the first down and then set up the touchdown? I mean, what were you thinking when you saw him take off?
It's simple. He's a grown-ass man. That's what it is. That's how he played today, and he led us to this win.
And speaking of all grown up, I'll paraphrase for you. How about him? He said he wanted the ball and he wanted it a lot today. You guys gave it to him. What'd you think of his performance?
He's a hell of a player, and he always wants the ball. And when you have a guy like this, the best guy in the NFL with the ball in his hands, we try to do as much as we can to get him the ball. Thankful to have him, best friend.
Defense looked pretty good today as well, guys.
Our defense is great. I mean, honestly, they keep us in every game. It was just a great team win. We're going to go celebrate this one.
Congrats to you both. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ezekiel Elliott got the week off last week for some rest. He needed it. 30 touches, 169 yards, and a touchdown. Cowboys are moving on. We'll come back on the other side of the break. 24-22, the final.